liver transplant from D.C. And to get to know a city, sometimes you do temp work. And so that's what I did when I moved here. And the temp nirvana is to get a long-term assignment. You don't want to go from employer to employer. You really want to stay in one place for a long time. So I was also putting myself through school, working full-time, and it was the summer break, and I needed a long-term assignment. So when I talked to my counselor, she said, okay, I have one. It's Temple University. It's the honors program. And talk to a Dr. Ron Hathaway. So that's what I did. I got there, and Dr. Hathaway comes out, and he says, are you the temp? And I said, yeah, I'm the temp. And he said, this is what you need to do by the end of the day. And it was about 150 pages of who knows what. But I said, okay, not a problem. Later I found out that when temps had come, they had looked at that and turned around and walked out. So basically it was just doing corrections and doing some, marginal stuff and with the transcript. And I got it done in today, took it to him, and I said, here, it's finished. And he said, really? And I said, yeah. So he looked at it, he said, okay, you're hired. Your hours are going to be 8:30 to 5, Monday through Thursday, and 8 to 4 on Fridays. It's a deal, right? And I said, sure. So anyway, it's a start of a really wonderful relationship that I developed with Dr. Hathaway. He was from Wyoming. He was Harvard educated. He had a PhD in political philosophy. And I think one of his treatises was called The Anatomy of a Neoplatonist Metaphysical Proof. What the hell is that? So anyway, I did, temp stuff, the filing, the scheduling. Students at Temple loved him. He had a class called Political Inferences, I think it was called. And anyway, the honors program was just his baby. He grew it out of funding, soft funding, and he was just a wonderful guy. So, the summer went on. We developed a relationship. I found out he was a world traveler, an accomplished violinist. His wife was a jewel. And so anyway, as the summer was progressing and it was coming to a close, and he really wanted to keep me. But I said, Dr. Hathaway, I'm working myself through school. I was working myself through Bryn Mawr College. I said, I can't work this job full time and work for you. And plus, if you know anything about temp agencies, they were paying me $15 but charging $45. So anyway, so that couldn't happen. But we parted friends. And one of the things that I found out about Ron was not only was he all the things I just mentioned, but he also had a need for speed. He had a BMW, and it was coincidental that my boyfriend at the time was also a BMW fanatic. His father was, his brother was. It was crazy, that cult thing that they do, blinking the lights and putting the thumbs up, when they see each other, crazy stuff. And anyway, so we parted friends and we were going to keep in touch. So about maybe 2 months into my semester at Bryn Mawr, I got a call from Mrs. Hathaway. And she said, Eva, she said, Ron is gone. And I said, what are you talking about, gone? And she said, Ron is gone. And I said, well, what does that mean? And she said, he's dead. Well, little did I know that he had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and he hadn't really a lot of time, and that was his last summer. So I felt very grateful to have been able to do that. So there was a memorial service. He was a Quaker, and it was held at the Ambler Quaker Meeting House. And if you know anything about Quaker services, it's really about people just sitting there until they're moved to speak. So my boyfriend at the time came with me, and when he saw the program, he said, that's him, that's him. And by this time I was hugging Mrs. Hathaway, and I really couldn't understand what he was talking about. But in the program, after the eulogy, the audience was, the public was invited to speak. So my boyfriend got up and he said, I want you to know this. I was taking a drive up in Upper Bucks County on Upper Eddy, Black Eddy Road, and I stopped at a store and wanted to get something to drink, and all of a sudden this guy pulls up in the same kind of BMW that I had, and we had a conversation, and it was about 20 minutes, and anyway, he said that person was Dr. Ron Hathaway. So, my friends, the world is small, but really, is it? Thank you.